Hi guys, today now we're back in the workshop and we're looking at a sort of a small repair job on the lawnmower. Now obviously not everybody's going to come across the same problem, but it might be a good indication of what you could sort of look at fixing and tackling by yourself and sort of how to go about a job when it comes to replacing something or repairing something. So anyway, what we have here is the collection box at the back of the lawnmower, and what's after happening is that there's a sort of a rip in the metal here. And what happens then is if a bit of grass gets stuck inside when the box tips, this piece of sheet metal or whatever is actually bending out, and then what it does then, it leaves a hole at the bottom and the grass falls out as you're going around. Now, as you can see here, this is where our problem is, just on the cross member here. This has obviously been happening with a while because it's buckled out here, and you can feel quite a bubble there. It's also ripped in the little bit of steel there, and it is also rusted. So this is obviously happening with a while. And then more recently, then there's sort of a fresher tear, and it's exactly the same on both sides of the collection box. So what we'll do now is we'll take it off and basically just demonstrate how you go about a repair. Now, as regards repairs, you mightn't be able to do all the repair yourself, but you could certainly look at taking the part off and bring it to somebody who can fix it, or maybe straightening it yourself and then bring it to maybe somebody with a welder who could spot weld it or whatever. But the principles remain the same anyway. At the top sort of level, theoretically, you could bring the lawnmower into a dealer and get them to do it. Obviously, they're going to be charging you an hourly rate for workshop time. So obviously, the more that you do in respect of the repair job yourself, as regards getting the part off and getting it to somebody who can fix it, or alternatively getting it off and fixing it yourself, is obviously a money-saving methodology. So that's what we'll do today now, is we'll just whip this off now and take it up on the bench, see can we straighten this, and then probably spot weld it. And we'll also look at possibly putting in a little brace as well, just to give it a little bit more strength, a sort of a gusset bar, so to speak. Now, as I was mentioning, here's the rip and the deformation of that sheet metal. So what we'll do now is we'll get this up on the bench, straighten that out, clean it off, and maybe run a few spot welds on it. Now guys, that's the lawnmower fixed. As you can see there, fairly straightforward job. Just take off the back door, straighten out where it was bent and sort of cut a bit or ripped. Few spot welds then from a MIG welder, and then what I used is a sort of little piece of galvanized bar just to strengthen up that particular joint, because obviously it's a weak spot with that sheet metal that's on that. Again, I'm sort of reiterating the point that, let's say, if you were going to fix something like this, you'd be able to take it off the lawnmower and bring it to somebody. Saves a whole lot of effort as regards having to load up a lawnmower in a trailer, etc, etc. And if you can straighten it, you could always bring it to somebody who has a welder, just to stick a few welds on it. What I did then, obviously, was with that galvanized bar, was just drill holes and rivet sort of strengthening plates into the side of it, just to stop it happening again. Other than that, job done, and it just demonstrates that, you know, don't be afraid of going at something. Worst case scenario is you won't be able to fix it. Stick the whole lot in the trailer, then bring it up to the dealer, let them fix it. But give it a go yourself anyway. And you can always be improving as you go. One thing that I would note, for anybody with a lawnmower, the vents on the back of the collection box are particularly important on any lawnmower. Half of the lawnmower action, or the grass cutting action, is by virtue of the air that's created when the blades rotate. And I'll just show you. Stay. This is one of the older blades from this, well worn down now, but these wings at the back of it there, as they go around, they create an air current. What that does is twofold. Number one, it pulls the grass up straight so that the blade can actually cut it, and it's like the second half of a scissors, for the want of a better description. And the second part, or second function of that, is that the deck is organized so that it blows air into the back of the collection box. If the back of your collection box is all blocked up with grass, it obviously reduces that airflow then, and it doesn't fill the box as well as it should, and it can lead to the deck getting a bit blocked. Especially if the grass is sort of anyway wet or damp and inclined to stick together. The more airflow that you get, the better. So that's about it. If you have any questions, stick them in the comments down below. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video.